All right, we're gonna go through the exploration assignment real quick. So log on to Discover Education. Real quick before I get started, know that the presidential debate is today. If you're interested in that, you're probably not, but if you are, my advice always is make sure you're registered to vote and vote as often as you can. And to be honest, you want to vote for president, whatever you do. But the president is literally like the least influential person in your life. If you vote, you should be voting for your state and your local officials. Those are the people that actually decide stuff, especially in some place like Palmer. You get a bunch of your friends together and y'all all go out and vote for somebody. You could literally, like 20 people could be the difference between somebody getting elected or not getting elected here in Palmer. Because not that many people are voting in Palmer. Same thing goes with Waxahachie. There's like hundreds of people that vote sometimes in these elections, and they win by 20, 30 votes. And so y'all could swing the outcome of an election. Just real quick before we get started, Vote 411 is a great website. You go to it. If y'all don't know, 411 is also a phone number. You can't use it for voting stuff, but like 911 is for emergencies. 411 is for information. So you can call 411 and like get information about random things, I guess. I don't know what they'll tell you or what they won't tell you.
I can ask them anything I want.
I don't know. You can ask them, but I don't know if they'll answer it. But they made the website Vote 411. So just type in Vote 411. Click on the link. It will ask you not for your name. I'm gonna freeze my bed. It doesn't ask you for your name because they don't really care about your name. It asks you where you live. And so you put your address in, and your address will tell them what kind of voting you have to do. And so you hit submit, and it will take you to a ballot. Basically, you say explore now. You explore your ballot, and it will tell you all the stuff that's going to be on the next voting cycle for you. Let's see if it actually picks this up. I think I had to put in street earlier. Hold on, let me put in street. I'm just using the address from the high school so you can kind of see what's going on. So yeah, here we go. Street. It's show my races.
What do you have?
And English. You can select Spanish if you want Spanish. But this just shows you on November 3rd, yeah, we're going to be electing the president. And that's cool and all, but there's all sorts of other stuff on the ballot. Railroad commissioner, which does a lot more than railroads. It has a lot to do with the regular roads, with oil and gas, all sorts of other things. A U.S. senator for Texas, so that's going to actually go to Washington, D.C. and represent us for 6 years as senator. A bunch of Texas Supreme Court justices who are going to decide court cases. Other judges in Texas, senator districts for the state of Texas, all sorts of other things. And so like this person here, Texas state representative and state senator, these are people that are just going to represent like Ellis County and the surrounding area. This is your elected officials in this area for Texas, not for the whole like Washington D.C. thing, but they're going to go down to Austin and represent you. So who's running here? Jake Elzy and Matt Savino. So I guess Jake Elzy would be the Republican. Savino's a Libertarian. Sorry, but I'm not a big fan of Libertarians.
Nope.
He's a Snoopy.
But anyways, yeah. If this says the rep, I don't think is for Republican. I think that's for representative. So I think he's probably the incumbent. He already has this position, is running for re-election. Where this guy's, I guess, the only person supporting him. Note, this is local elections. Not a lot of Democrats around here. A lot of times the Democrats don't even make it to the final race. So this Republican is essentially running unopposed. There's a Libertarian here, but he's probably not going to come anywhere close to winning this election. In the same way that the Democrats don't even come close. They don't even try. They're like, why even put somebody there? It's just going to be the Republican winning. Get on this website before you vote. That way you don't show up and you're like, all right, I know who I want to vote for president. And then you're like, oh, I have like 20 other people to choose from and I've never even heard these people's names. You can do a little bit of research. They post stuff up here, kind of tell you what they're about, what they used to do. And that way, you can even like print this out after you select each of the people and just take it in with you. And that way you know who to vote, or write it down on a piece of paper or whatever. So that's usually what I do. It's a quick, easy way to do a little bit of research without having to spend all your time. But definitely vote for the local elections. Make sure you're registered so you can actually get in and be able to vote if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But if you're not registered, you can't vote even if you want to. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to do this exploration assignment. Go ahead and when it logs you into the front page, you're going to want to click on View Assets. If you click on Big Bang Theory, it will take you to the book, which will help you answer some of these questions. But if you click on View Assets, it should take you to this page, Understanding the Universe. You're going to go all the way to the bottom, the very bottom of the page, and you're going to click on this assignment that says Exploration, Understanding the Universe at the very bottom of the page. It needs to have this green picture right here. Don't click on the other one. That's going to open a new tab. And this is going to be your exploration. It's not too complicated like the other one, but basically, right underneath it, you have 10 questions. And we kind of went over this stuff yesterday, so you should be able to answer these hopefully pretty quickly. What the exploration does, which again, it's not graded, but I just want to show you. So you click on a different star. We're already clicked on star 1. It shows you what the wavelength should be for that size of star and its temperature. You're going to look at another wavelength. So you click start, and it reads the observed frequency and wavelength. And what you see is the one on bottom bigger or smaller? It's smaller. So it's been squeezed a little bit. That means the star is coming towards us. That's like the Doppler effect. Why my voice sounds higher when I run at you, meow, and then it goes lower when I'm headed away. It's higher because it's squeezed. I know. Thank you. It's higher because it's squeezed. So this one is going to be approaching me. It's going to be headed towards me. That's why the wavelength is shorter. I hit submit. It's like, yes, you are correct. You're so smart. Wonderful. And then it asks, is that blue shift or is that red shift? Blue shift is going to be when it's squeezed and it's headed towards you. It's going to look more blue. If it's headed away from you, it's going to look more red. So I click blue shift, and then I hit submit, and it's like, yay, you did it right. And then you can go through and do the other stars. You really don't need to do a lot. We hit reset, go to star 2. And on this one, is it shorter or longer? It's longer this time, so it's headed away from us, which means everything's getting stretched out. So it's going to be receding away from us, and this one's going to be the red shift. And that should honestly be enough to kind of get you through some of the assignment. It's mostly about what I lectured over yesterday. So if you go back to this other tab and click on this, this will take you to the Big Bang Theory part. And you can kind of read through this to answer the questions. But to look at some of them, I'm going to go through it quick because I don't want this to be a super long video for the people online. If we scroll down, explain the term Doppler shift. So the Doppler shift is that it gets squeezed if it's headed towards you, and it gets stretched if it's headed away from you. And we're talking about light waves here and the wavelength. In the same way I did the sound. Sounds high-pitched when I'm headed towards you, low-pitched when I'm headed away. Describe the use of Doppler shift in astronomy. We look at the stars to see if we think their light is being squeezed or stretched, and that tells us if they're headed towards us or away from us. Describe the Doppler shift observations. Describe how the Doppler shift observations imply the continuous expansion of the universe. Because when we look out at all these galaxies, they all have that red shift. So, or most of them have that red shift. So that means that most everything in the universe is moving away from us, which implies expansion. Let's see. Determine whether the following statements are correct or incorrect. Look through the statements, find out if they're correct or incorrect, and put the answers here, A, B, C, D. I'm not going to read all those. Describe how the emission spectrum of a star can be used to determine whether a star is approaching or receding Earth. It's kind of the same thing you did in number 2. Is it red compared to what it should be? That means everything is stretched out and it's headed away from us. Is it blue compared to what we think it should be? That means it's squeezed in and it's headed towards us. And that's how we figure out, using the Doppler effect, whether it's headed towards us or away from us. Number 6, a star has an intrinsic frequency of this, blah, blah, blah. Identify the type of shift. That maybe will help you up here. So if your frequency is lower, the wavelength is longer, and it's a red shift. So let's just look at this one, and I'll tell you this one. The intrinsic frequency is 457. The observed frequency is 472. So the frequency is higher, which means your wavelength is shorter, which means it should be blue shift. So this star should be headed towards us and not headed away from us. So that's going to be a blue shift. Identify the shift of the types. Oh, they have a bunch of those.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I'll maybe let you work on that one. Or to be honest, yeah, maybe work on that one. Basically, let me write that down on the board. I can erase this stuff. Or should I erase this stuff? I was going to take a picture of it. You'll see all my beautiful drawings over here. But basically, yeah. And you can use this you can use the other one. So we said our frequency goes up. So that's going to be blue shift. If your frequency goes down, it's going to be red shift. So here, frequency goes up. That's going to be blue shift. This one's wavelength. So remember, the wavelength is going to be opposite. My wavelength goes up. So that's going to be red shift. My frequency goes down. That's going to be red shift. And my wavelength goes down. I'll let you figure that one out. I gave you 3 of them. And it'll be in the video. If you're like, I don't know what to do, go to the video. This exploration explains the Doppler shift of 4 stars. State 1 star that exhibits blue shift. So basically they're asking you which one of these stars exhibits blue shift. And just put that in question number 8. The exploration explains, or maybe they're asking about this one actually up here. Either one. Give me one of these stars up here, or give me one from the previous question. I'll be fine with that. The exploration explains the Doppler shift of 4. Oh. Yeah. State 1 star that exhibits red shift. Use this explanation to identify whether the star Pollux is approaching Earth or receding from Earth. Where do they talk about Pollux?
I think it's on the second tab
There's another tab.
down there where it says stars right there.
Oh, there's even more. Look at you. That's observant. So yeah, you would go to Pollux. I didn't even know that was there. And then observe Pollux. So they give you peak wavelength, then they give you observed wavelength, and it's pretty much the same, but it does go, is this right? So it looks like it does go, your wavelength gets bigger just by a little bit. And so if your wavelength gets bigger, then you should be headed away from us because that's going to be redshift. It's going to stretch it out. So let's see if that's correct. That's right. To be fair, if you got it wrong, it was just one other guess. But yeah, to answer the Pollux question, you got to go to the other tab here for stars. And then I guess you can track all your information here. There's Pollux. Nice. So yeah, Pollux is going to be a redshift. And that's question number 10. So if you have any questions, let me know. You should be able to at least get some sort of answer in there for each of the questions. And I'll go in and grade it and get it in the grade book this weekend. So I hope this helped y'all out at home. I know these probably aren't y'all's favorite assignments, but to be honest, if we don't do them, we won't have enough assignments and we'll just get through all the chapters super quick. and that would not be great for Miss. Yeah, I know it's fine for you, but it wouldn't be great for me. So, if you have questions, please email me. I never get emails from my students that are online. Yeah, you email me sometimes, but now you're not online anymore. You're here. But yeah, y'all ask questions, send me emails, and I will get back to you and help you out. So, thank you, and have a nice day.